There's always been a question of corruption in boxing.
Yes.
Is that something that you encountered before?
I mean, yeah. I mean, corruption is in the hands of individuals. So, a manager might not have your best intentions. So my manager out the gate, he looked at me like an investment. He didn't look at me like a broke, starving kid that was looking for a dream to come true, and my life was changed.
Right.
In some forms, when you look at a person like that and they want you to look at them like, it's kind of, they want you to look at them like they God. You know what I'm saying? But like, I took the story for what it is, and I was thankful that I wasn't put in too many situations where my integrity was super compromised. But I see people do it all the time, and that's why I was going crazy for a little bit. I had to go start seeing a therapist because when I became the world champion, it went from, can you pay my cell phone bill, to like, man, I'm about to lose my house. How much you got? How much you need, bro? Man, I need 20 racks. I heard that so many times. I can't even begin to brag and be trying to tell y'all that I haven't lost a lot of money because of people I thought were like businessmen. Businessman is like fake ass businessman. I hate to say it that way, but that's what I had to learn in my life, that a lot of people be having like false ideas, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the one that's investing in those ideas, and I'm gonna end up losing. I'm like, I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? So I think you're going to be placed in a lot of those situations. That's why you got to make up your mind and know who you are and not be put in those situations. Or if you are, then you know how to learn to get yourself out of those type of situations, or how to teach another person, yo, man, this is what I've been through. This is my situation, this and that. I'm not built for entertainment. That's what it is.
Entertainment.
You know,
Was there a lot of pressure for you to do things that would compromise who you always wanted to be? Then I mean, meaning the champion. Like,
Yeah.
what were those situations like? What is it? Is it that crazy in boxing where somebody's gonna snake you along the way? Deontay Wilder's dealing with had to deal with a situation where he felt like Tyson Fury cheated him.
Yes.
Well, I don't have to get into how, but there was enough that he got the rematch back. But he felt like there were people not only on his team, but within boxing that set him up or had him put into that position to take a L. Have you ever felt that way?
No. I felt like everything that was like that I've been through in my fights and winning and losing, it was appointed to me. So I never in my life live with regret or things like that. So I think, I guess it's all about the specific person. But when we talk about Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, we talking about top tier fighters in the world, the best at what they do.
Right.
So a little bit of some of that might be a dude. I mean, you going in a fight, how is not for you to be personal about it, but at the same time you get petty. So how can you get personal with money? So at the same, it's entertainment. You know why people go to entertainment?
Be entertained.
It's because it's not enough joy out there, so they look for entertainment. Entertainment is always going to be a substitution for joy.
Wow. Wow.
And you know why y'all say, Because when you hear something good like that, it's like food.
Yeah.
So when you hear it, just point that out. Just point that out.
Well, what do you think about the Deontay and Tyson Fury situation?
Man, listen, I think, being a black man in America, I think it's always good for us to see a black man on that level. So I'm always going to root for him, even if he loses.
Right.
Because I got to, do my best to try to bring up our people. So I'm praying always for my brother. I know him personally, and, I think on that level and with that kind of money, you start dealing with, personal things that you need to, like, fight through, and only the strong survive at the end of the day. So.
Right. Only the strong survive.
Yeah.
You think entertainment might be evil?
I think it could be used for anything. Anything you do in life could be used for evil or used for good. It's all on the person. It's all self-described. That's why having a podcast like this, you'll do good as long as you get the right kind of content and the right kind of people, because so many people got stories that people, they need to either learn something or they need to be entertained. So I'm here to always teach. You know what I'm saying? I've been through a lot of stuff for me to, I'm like, my brother's with me. I love my brother. You know what I mean? My mom really never gave us hugs when we was little. You know what I mean? So then when I hear you talking about your mom, like your hero, I wish my mom was my hero. We was talking about man outside, and he was like, my dad's from Cuba, born and raised. So me and my brother is like one of, like my dad got 8 children, 4 different women, 2 wives currently right now, and he raised other people's kids too. So I got like it's like 12, 13 of us. You know what I mean? So my brother was telling somebody who was up there, you know what my dad used to do? He used to take us at other women's houses that he used to cheat on my mom with and tell us not to say nothing. He would like, you want to sit on my lap and drive? That's how he would, so we wouldn't tell my mom nothing. But that's what we've been through as kids. So we never got a good examples on how to love a woman or how to be faithful to a woman, you know what I mean? So it's like those time for struggles come from our personal story, you know what I mean?
You said 8 kids,
8 kids.
2 wives.
2 wives. I mean, he got 4 different women. He got 2 wives currently. He got his wife in Cuba, and he got his wife here, which is my mother. And they've been actually separated longer than they've been married. Wow. My mom tried to come to me. I'm married. I love my wife, and my mom tried to give me some, try to say something about my wife. I said, Mom, chill out. I've been married longer than you.
You had to shut that down.
Yeah.
Well, do you feel like at what point did you realize, like, yo, this is something that's affecting my behavior? Because a lot of people go through life and they don't realize how much of their childhood affects their behavior. Like it echoes continually throughout your life. When did you realize, like, yo?
Man, I have so many different moments where I've seen that, but I think about that and try to grasp that answer every day. It's like, everybody is walking this earth just trying to make peace with God, making peace with their life, making peace with who they are, you know what I mean? So, I've been in a lot of different, like, divinely inspired times in my life, and, I could point one of those out, but I think one of those biggest things is when I really, took up my first loss in my career. I got a dream in Florida getting ready. Wanted to be around Cuban, the Cuban acting out for like real Cuban in that time.
Right.
And I was training down there. I got in my very best shape, and I got a nightmare or a dream. And it's like, you're going to lose, and I'm going to lose in the first round. And I went into the ring to fight Danny Jacobs, and I was looking at him like I ain't never walked in a fight, and I walked in there with a little bit of fear. But when I fought him, I was fearless. I was looking out and said, I'm going to knock him out. And I went straight at him, but I seen it happen when, like, he came in the dream, and he stopped me. And that was hard to deal with at that moment because I was looking so unstoppable. And, for that moment come, but that's the time but the first round, and then I looked up, I remember looking up, and I said, okay, God, I'm listening now. So from that, that's been my journey right there. So I've been walking with the Lord now 6 years, you know what I mean? Just straight working on convictions, trying to, read my Bible every day. I think that fight could have been the one that did it, but being in homeless and being on the train, I tell people this story. I was coming on the train, on the 4 train. Dude kicked me out of his house. He actually was over me with a hammer, and he's telling me to get out. I said, man, just let me go. I was like 18. I was 18 years old. Yeah. And when he kind of like, he brought me here. I didn't have no family here. I didn't know nobody here. I was like, working at IHOP. I worked at a chicken shop. They called it a vivero. You know what a vivero is? A live butcher shop. I was killing like 700 chickens a day when I lived on the Lower East Side. So I had all the IHOP in the Bronx, 232nd and Broadway, and then the Lower East Side working at this, they call it the Stink Shop. So all those humbling experiences, that one moment where I was on the highest level and I couldn't crash and down and still not walk with shame in my face, because after the post-fight, I think I saved a lot of my dignity, because if you heard the post-fight interview, I gave him his credit. He was fighting cancer. I don't know what, my uncle died of cancer. Right. You know what I mean? So.
My brother too.
Yeah. So, but the craziest thing is, like, I turned down a lot of money from Jay-Z, like $1.4 million.
1.4.
1.4.
From Jay-Z.
From Jay.
What was that?
I mean, like, I fought Gabriel Rosado.
Right.
I was in camp in California, my wife was pregnant with my first kid, and she had a miscarriage. And, you know, I was like in the camp, and she wanted me to come out there. I said, you know, it's nothing I'm gonna be able to do to bring the baby back. That probably wasn't the right thing to say.
Right.
And put a big strain on me and her relationship. So, you know, trying to work through that issue, I told God in the prayer in my mind, I said, if I was ever put in that situation again where I had to not compromise my job, I was gonna pick my family.
Right.
And that thing came around, and it was like $1.4 million. I just had a son, and I found out my uncle had pancreatic cancer. And that was the hardest thing to ever see, somebody that fought so hard for me, looking and being him so weak on him. I mean, he was trying to be strong though, but
Right.
I seen him breaking down, and I had a moment with him when I actually, you know, I had to turn down the fight. I turned down the money, and a lot of people thought, you know, my advisor, Al Heyman, told me that. The worst thing is, like, people couldn't understand. I said, look, I just had a kid 3 days ago. I want to spend time with my son.
Right.
My uncle was dying. I'm confused. I don't think, like, I've worked all my whole life to live on people's couches and being homeless, and I can't say I don't want to fight right now. This ain't the time for me to fight.
Right.
Give me a couple months so I can get my mind together. Nobody was listening to me, so I basically said, what's the options for me? He said, well, if you don't decide to fight, which you can, they're gonna strip you. And then what else can you do? Well, he said, you can always vacate the belt to save yourself dignity. I said, well, I'm vacating the belt then. And I vacated the belt. But for me, I think sometimes it was like me saying no to the devil. Because after that, my career started going down, toppling. After that, next fight after that, I got my money back. I made double the money back. And I got my first draw of my career. And then I fought another dude, and then I fought Danny Jacobs, and then took my loss. You know what I'm saying? All after that deal. Because before that, got that deal, I was basically looking unstoppable. He's talking about top 10 fighting, Canelo fighting, Triple G, all these names and stuff like that. And I had the ball in my court, and, you know, moments like that happened and came out.
So the 1.4, that was for?
They say 1.4. The worst thing is, it's not 1.4. I got a manager, I got a trainer, I got a promotion. The worst thing to do, because when you got boxing, you got other sports like basketball, right? You got people that go to college. But real fighters are made in the hood, made with nothing. They don't hardly got no food to eat.
Right.
And you get them in the game, it's easy to take advantage of them because they're always looking for somebody to be with them, and people latch onto that and take advantage of that. That's the worst and hurtful thing. I just started a trucking business. Not to say I'm hurtful to see a guy that Mike Tyson fought in Atlantic City. He was from Atlantic City, and he was driving a high load. And like you wouldn't even know that. Nobody even, when people hot, but when they done and done, they don't have nothing to show for their career, nothing that they did, nothing.
So what does that 1.4 break down to?
I would say probably
7.
Yeah, about 7.
7?
Sound like a rapper from
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but you know, yeah,
IRS.
yeah. I mean, I'm adding that and all that in because
they want they
like
cut.
the worst thing is like in my career, like making money, you know, having people help you like your friends and stuff, they still should be able to sign 1099s. I mean, they should be able to pay their own taxes with the money I gave them, but that didn't happen. So I had some people that didn't pay their taxes for the money I ended up had to pay for them. And there wasn't no managers. These are friends. Ding.
Yeah.
Wow.
When you look back at that, do you think that was a test that you passed in your life, that offer that you turned down?
Yeah, see, what people would have thought, they would have been coming here, I would have been coming here talking about, I want to beat him, I want to knock him out. But I'm saying, it's always an opportunity to learn something. So, been through the deepest stuff, the roughest stuff, but like God has saved me. He anointed my forehead, he came down, ate with me, so I'm thankful.
Right.
So it's a good opportunity to always teach a young, hungry, starving kid that's trying to get this and get that. They don't know all the downfall. They want to show you what glitz and my mom always said, it said everything that shines, everything
literally.
that shines in, it's not glitter and gold.
Right.
She also used to tell me, I keep it funky like how cat piss on the tin roof. I don't know what the fuck that meant.
But
It's hot for trap turned smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work, you heard. Making fiends leave earth, you heard. Got your baby mama thirst, you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf, you heard. Told Jim I need a bomb I could drop on you niggas. Bad boy, I'm never gonna stop for you niggas. I don't give a fuck who you got is the illest. I solidify my spot with gorillas. Now